Hey, dear Tyler. Good morning. And how are you doing? And how have you been? I really hope you are good. I hope you're fine. I hope everything has been okay so far. I hope your week has been awesome. Um, Mine has been really really good. And yeah, the regular stuff that happens. Thank you so much for your feedback so far on the last episode. Clearly it seems to have resonated with a whole lot of us. Thank you for the feedback. It really means a lot, and I'm actually glad that it also meant something to us that listen to it. The contentions between our head and our hearts, the really really tough times, and I think it's very important for us to be very real with God. At least, at least with God, let's be as real as possible because He sees our hearts. He actually understands us, and it's okay to say, Lord, I really need this stuff from you. I really need you to do this, and not to try to be cunning in any certain way and make it look like you're interested in the kingdom, in quote, when really you just have a need that you need to be met. And I think I'm so aware that God is such a loving Father that He understands that. Let it be that the moments when we do want to attach something to the kingdom, that we're honest about it, right? If you really just need something to go by, like you're hungry or you need to settle a bill, I believe you could ask Him without trying to attach it to any kingdom. Since you just be honest with the Father. I think that's the most important thing. I really believe that's the most important thing. So, like I said, be real with God. Now, I told you throughout the month of July to just be me pouring my heart in more of a spontaneous manner, no real series per se. And today I'll be sharing on have you told God? Have you told God? I would use a lot of, I think, personal examples, but hopefully they would resonate also with you. There'll be things that you can relate to. All right. So, over time in life, I think I could start to say that over time in life, it's very clear to see the gift of people, right? The advantage that people consist to our lives. There are a lot of things that we have gotten, a lot of things that we've received, a lot of things that people have done for us. A lot of things people have done for us out of their own benevolence. And naturally, because our minds are generally more in tuned to what we see in the physical realm, we tend to keep track records, right, of people that have helped us before, people that have constituted one level of advantage or the other to us, right? So we're very very keen on that, and usually there are certain set of people that you could easily turn to when you're in trouble, when you've got issues. There are people that you could talk to, there are people that you call. There's usually this person that serves as your cushion, right? Where you could pour out your heart. If you've got fears, you tell the person. If you've got concerns, you tell the person. If you've got needs, you tell the person. So even if it's some form of help that you need or a decision that you want to make, there are certain people in our lives that have won that space of confidentiality, that we're able to tell them certain things. And I know each and every one of us can testify how important these people are and how difficult it is to make progress when they're not available. Um, and then a lot of times, because of the way that they're just so benevolent and how much they, reach out to help us and to make our lives a lot better, we tend to be very, very careful that we do not overstep boundaries, right? We don't want it to be like we're taking advantage of them. We don't want it to be like you're just that ATM bag and all. Or ATM machine. Can you imagine? I said ATM bag as if it exists. Any ATM machine. Uh, yeah. And then even down to like emotional strength, right? There are people that we draw from. And so when things are not going well, when you're having a rough day or somebody was really on your nerves, doing certain things, there are certain people that seem to have helped or created the atmosphere strong enough or conducive enough for you to be at peace, right? It's very, very important that we have these people. I have enjoyed it personally. I've enjoyed their love, their sacrifice, their concern, especially those that are highly, highly sensitive. Like they could just pick out and be like, Pinga, I sense there's something wrong. I have this amazing friend that does that to me. Her name is Tokwe, Shadi in Zaria. And she's like super sensitive. Like, Pinga, I just heard your name right now. And I said, let me reach out to you. I know that I'm praying for you. And most times I am really, really going through a major, major phase. So having those kind of people in my corner has been of such great help, such great help to me. Now, because I have enjoyed this, I've lost sense of a truth. Many times when I'm in trouble, my last option is God. Right, so I'm very emotional now about this because I can literally feel his hurt. My last option is God. And it's after I have tried everybody else, all the people that have once been there for me. After I've tried all of that, then somehow I quickly run back to his feet, and then I'm in tears, and then I'm asking him for help. I'm asking him for mercy, all of those things. And what has happened over time is that my faith has found an anchor more in men, in the ability of men to answer me, than the ability and willingness of God to answer me. And so there was this phase in my life where there was a whole lot of things going wrong, and I tried, to talk to people, reach out to people, just, the regular, and they did their best, but in reality, they were really limited. And I remember it was a koinonia service. And while, Apostle was talking and everything, I just heard, Pinga, have you told me? Pinga, have you told me? And, right on that seat, I was like, wow, I'm in a very prophetic atmosphere. I am in a place that is characterized with answers to prayers. Every day, there is a vessel of God that keeps on telling me that there is a God that answers. And I had totally, absolutely lost sight of him. And he asked me, have you told me? And I said no. And he was like, why? Like, don't you trust me enough to take care of you? Don't you trust me enough to answer you? Don't you trust me enough to help you? What has happened to your faith? What has happened to your trust? And somehow the flashback started happening. I started thinking of the times when I really didn't have people around me, and I was so aware that he was all that I had, and at every junction of my life, every decision, everything that I was going to do, he was the first priority. My first point of contact was God. And I remember he told me something. He said, Binga, whenever you have a need, whenever you have a challenge, talk to me first. If I do not answer you directly, then I would lead you to somebody that has the answer. But then I would make sure that the heart that I am using to help answer you would also be prepared. But never ever forget that the moments when people come through for you is because I laid it in their hearts to do it. And somehow, the message of Apostle just came back to me, and it was like, it's you need to understand that people have a lot going on in their lives, and so for their mind to shift and focus on you, it's a clear indication that it is absolutely divine. It's absolutely divine. Why would you be about your business and then all of a sudden the thought of somebody just comes to you, and then you are so adamant on reaching the person, that almost you feel uneasy about it. All of those thoughts, all of those impressions, right? That almost you're so uneasy about it. It has to be a divine hand. And he told me, he said, do you know how many times you have missed my answers because you have trusted your history? You have trusted, the other people. And maybe there were times that there were people he was leading me to. People that could have helped me, people that could have gotten me out of those situations or been of help. But, I felt like there were more trustworthy people. It was like, do you know how many answers you've missed because you've not inquired of me? David was a skilled man of war, but he will still inquire of the Lord, should I overtake or should I pursue? And he waits for the answers of the Lord. As much as we thank God for men, we need to understand that these men were always sent by God. Always sent by God. Always sent by God. And a man that has been sent by God would have absolutely no challenge fulfilling the requirements, fulfilling the assignment that the Lord gave him or her. Any individual that was sent by God would have absolutely no issues. Absolutely no issues. And so I find myself, today just thinking about where I am and what I'm going through and the things that I have hopes for. And, I think a few days back I tried praying and I found it very hard. I was tempted to pick up the phone, to reach out to people, that I felt I could help. And at that point in time, it was like everybody was just unavailable. Now, these people are not, they're not terrible. These people genuinely love me. But remember, like I said, that a lot of people are going through things that once your thought drops into their mind, it must be something divine. And you see, this is what also causes a whole lot of pain in relationships, because there are times that you would make calls, you would try to reach out to people that have been pillars over time, And at those moments that they are not able to render help or assistance, it looks like you've been betrayed, or somehow, and then somehow there is a little, that rift in relationships and all comes about. It's absolutely, absolutely uncalled for. Absolutely uncalled for. And so this was just poured out in my heart. Have we gotten so used to having men help us that we've forgotten that God is our Ebenezer, that He is our helper? Have we gotten so used to that? Have we gotten so used to that? And I know a lot of times we don't want to ask God because He's going to ask us to do things that we're not comfortable with. He's going to ask us to do things that we are not comfortable with. But, oh Father, the Bible says that cursed is the man who puts his strength in the arm of flesh. The arm of flesh is not against you, but once your trust is anchored in them, you would understand how feeble men are. You have absolutely we have absolutely no right to feel offended by people that can't reach out to us. No, especially when we've not spoken to God. In fact, if you've spoken to God and the vessel He's using refuses, that's on them and God. Do you understand? But you should be at perfect peace because you have understood, or you have carried out His requirements and His desires to the letter. I think this is more like a wake-up call for us, Tyler. When anything happens, who do you call? Where is your point of first contact? Who do you reach out to first? Can we avoid the stories of situations where they'll be like, when I felt like after I tried everything and then I now tried you or something? It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. When you're in need or something, or you have a challenge and you have that urge to meet people and talk and say something, the first question you should ask is, have I told God? Have I told God? We must understand that God is a God that is willing to answer. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, and somehow it's more piercing now because it's a scripture I cherish but have refused to live on. Jeremiah 33:3 says, "Call unto me and I will answer you, and I will show you great and marvelous things that you know nothing about." Call unto me and I will answer you. I will make certain that you will receive answers. You are certain of answers. This is God's promise to us. Have you called on God? Have you called on God? Now, I'm not saying despise people, no, because 90% of the blessings that you'll ever receive in life, 90% of the help, 90% of the favor, majority of the things that would happen in your life will come through the vessels of men. But they're only acting as messengers. They carry the blessing with them, but they're under the instructions of the Lord. If the Lord does not send help to you, you cannot be helped. And you must understand that. No man, no individual in this life sustains the ability to succor your emotions. No man, no person has the ability to keep you emotionally stable. No man. And you must understand that your stability must come from the fact that this God that you serve and that you believe in loves you. And he is concerned about every detail. Learn to be free to cry. Learn to be free to, be free enough to cry before him in his presence. Open up and let him know the depth of your heart. Let it be that you're reaching out to people is because he has given you the mandate to do so. You're going to meet this person. It's because he has given you the go ahead. We need to learn to wait. Because a lot of times, right, the things that we're very sporadic about trying to fix are the stuff that we messed up ourselves. Majority of it are the things that we messed up ourselves. And so it's important that we cry out, to God for help. At first instance, just make sure that you cry out to God for help. It's very important, right? So I ask you again, Tyler, have you told God? Have you told God? I really hope that this blesses us in a big way. And I hope that our hearts are open enough to realize that God is truly all we have. And when every other thing fades, He's the one thing that will remain. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. For all of you that have been sharing this podcast, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God will bless you mightily. So this is me signing out, right, Tyler? Remember, I love you, I believe in you, and I'm always rooting for you. Bye.